Think hijama is just an old superstition? Or that it's a cure-all? The truth? Both are wrong. In today's video, we are going to bust the most common myths around cupping. We're going to look at why celebrities and top athletes swear by it. And we're going to look at how science is now proving what ancient healers knew all along. And by the end of this video, you're never going to look at hijama the same way again. Let's immediately start with the most common myth surrounding hijama and cupping, that it's outdated. Outdated? Tell this to Dwayne "Rock" Johnson, and he isn't the only celebrity who tried cupping. Also, Jennifer Aniston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Justin Bieber, and Lena Dunham, they've all tried cupping. The biggest misconception about cupping is that it's just an old superstition or at most a placebo. But research and studies are now showing that it does have real effects on the body. Scientists have found that it can reduce pain in muscles and joints, and that it can even lower blood pressure in people that are hypertensive. Scientists are discovering that cupping influences the nervous system. It helps your body to relax and to restore balance, and it may even positively affect your immune system and inflammation markers. So what might look like just a simple ancient therapy has real measurable effects on the body. And this brings me to the next misconception, that cupping is only for Muslims. And this is not true at all. But there's not only science, but also history disagrees. Yes, cupping has been practiced in Arabia for a long time, but it can also be traced back to ancient Greece, Asia, Egypt. In fact, even Hippocrates, the man we call the father of medicine today, recommended cupping over 2000 years ago. And it wasn't even only humans. In traditional Chinese medicine, cupping was used even on cattle and livestock for muscle recovery. Islam, however, gave the practice a special revival. Out of all the treatments, hijama is one of the few that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, highlighted multiple times. That's why for Muslims, it's not only a medical therapy, but also a spiritual tradition. In the next video, we are going to dive much deeper into the forgotten history about cupping. And trust me, you are going to be surprised with some of the stories I will tell you about it. But let's move on to another false belief about hijama. And this is that it makes you weak and dizzy for days on end. This usually comes from people being afraid of losing blood and fainting. But the truth is that during hijama, only a small amount of blood is taken. It's not the same as a blood donation or bloodletting. During a blood donation, 500 milliliter of blood is taken. This equals a small water bottle. In contrast to hijama, where only 20 to 60 milliliter is taken, which equals a shot glass. So that makes clear that these two are completely different things. On the day of your session, it's best to take things easy, because you're going through a kind of detox and you might feel a little bit tired. This is called a Herxheimer reaction, which simply means that healing takes energy. Think of it like going to the spa or to the chiropractor. You're going to be a little bit tired the same day, but afterwards you're going to feel like a whole new person. Hijama makes everything flow again in your body. Your blood, your lymph, your energy. And it works energizing in the long run. That's exactly why top athletes such as Cristiano Ronaldo, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor and Michael Phelps do cupping, because it gives them that extra performance boost. This also clears up the misconception that hijama is only needed when someone's sick. Hijama has been used for thousands of years for different reasons, not just as a remedy, but also as prevention of illness and to maintain health. And it's best to do it while you're healthy, because we all know prevention is better than cure. It's the same as a healthy diet or exercising. You do it to prevent sickness and you don't start when you're sick. In ancient times, hijama was even used in emergencies, such as a snake bite. It was used to draw out the venom. Cool, right? That said, there are also people who think that hijama replaces every other remedy to healing. And don't get me wrong, I am very convinced about the healing hijama can bring, in case you haven't noticed, but I'm not convinced that it replaces every other way to healing. Because health and healing is the result of your body being in a kind of balance. You can imagine resting it on a few key pillars, and if one of those pillars breaks down, the whole structure starts to wobble. There are several ways to restore that balance. For example, lifestyle. When your lifestyle choices are off for too long, your body will eventually start to protest. Let's say someone smokes for years and develops high blood pressure. That person can change their diet, start exercising, take medication, or use herbs, but it doesn't make sense if they don't stop smoking. Another example is when a virus disrupts your body's balance. Taking the right herbs or other remedies can help restore it. Hijama is one of those tools. It's a therapy which helps the body to get back into balance in many different ways. It works on the muscular system, the cardiovascular system, the skeletal system, the immune system, even the nervous system. That's why it can be applied on a very broad spectrum of health issues. In the end, like with every therapy, it depends on the root cause. In future videos, we are going to look at the pillars of health and how to bring your body back into balance. So stay tuned, there's a lot more to come, and I hope you are as excited as I am. Now, let's talk about the fact that there are people who think that hijama can be done by anyone. They think it's easy, just some cups and blades, super simple. But this thinking is actually dangerous. Hijama requires proper study and training. You need the right knowledge about hygiene, anatomy, health in general, and you also need to learn the right techniques. Otherwise, you risk infections, scarring, and even damaging your client. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, also emphasized that hijama should be done by a skilled and trustworthy practitioner. True benefit comes when the practitioner knows health and anatomy and places the cups exactly where needed according to the symptoms of the person. Another fear people have is hijama spreading diseases like HIV or hepatitis. This is a big reason why a lot of people avoid hijama. They see blood and blades and they start panicking. The truth is, everything is done so hygienic and so professionally that there is no need for panic. Firstly, during training, hygiene is one of the top priorities drilled into every student. On top of that, because of sanitary safety, all the equipment which comes into contact with blood are disposable. The cups, the blades, the paper on the table, gloves, tissues, and so on, they are all disposable, so there's no risk of cross-infection. It's just like going to the dentist. They are well trained and they use sterile tools. The same way a hajam must be well educated and must use the right sterile equipment. Which of these myths today surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thank you for watching and see you soon on the Holistic Cup.